Leo Serengeti made it to the semi-finals last year. This time last year, he was debuting in KUMITE with a big win over, guess who, Ken? Lucas Galingas! And of course, Serengeti defeating Hirohiro Takahakahide in the quarterfinals, falling in the semis to the eventual champion Andre Zaporizhia, who we'll be seeing in the next bout. And Curtis Prancer lost in the opening round last year to the Big Kabongo. And of course, the Big Kabongo we'll see in our main event tonight. Prancer made it to the quarterfinals last in KUMITE's first year. He defeated Taylor Swift of all people in the opening round fight. Submitted Taylor Swift, that English man who knows how to dance.
You don't get to tap out Taylor Swift too often.
No, it does not happen too often, and Leo Serengeti trying to get a tap-out victory in record time, looking for an APA. And Curtis Prancer, also well-versed in submissions. Oh, very dangerous place to be. Oh, gets the mount. And it would not be surprising to see this fight stay on the ground for much of it. A very, very tight battle between two ground technicians. And of course, Curtis Prancer.
It's odd that Prancer's a ground technician.
For being a dancer, yeah.
Yeah, it makes no fucking sense.
Or maybe he's very flexible, I guess, I don't know.
That's a noble thing to have. No matter
Flexibility,
what.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Well, of course, Prancer, quarterfinals is as far as he made it in the KUMITE in 2014, losing to Lucas Galingas in the KUMITE fall in April, which was the quarterfinals. He has not won since New Year's Eve of 2014. 0-3 in the last 2 years. He's taken a much more relaxed schedule, but he said, you know what, if the fans will vote me in, if they'll have me, I'll make it one last ride into the sunset. I guess one last tap dance into the sunset, I suppose, is what would be more appropriate.
Yeah, one last dance with Mary Jane. I guess you could say. Only, well, we don't really have a drug test.
Like a drug?
Here, do we?
No, we don't. I don't think that would really. No, in fact, I think it's encouraged by Muscularis Basaka. Oh, and Prancer lands a good strike from the mounted position while he's inspired. Leo Serengeti is a very Kimura attempt by Leo Serengeti. A very tough customer ever since former heavyweight champion on HCL. A top competitor here in KUMITE. But again, when you're inspired like Curtis Prancer is, well, the body can just do a little bit more. You can dig a little deeper. You can really reach down and grab a hold of something and squeeze tight. Can't you, Ken?
You're making me even sadder to see him go now.
Well, Curtis Prancer really gonna just take his hand, jam it in there, make a fist, and dig deep.
Wait, hold on a minute. You're
root around
some
in there.
Job security issues here, buddy.
Excuse me?
You realize what you're saying right now?
Oh no, I'm just talking about how Curtis Prancer has to dig deep and root around in the cavity of determination.
Okay.
What, is that a problem?
No, it just sounds like you're fisting the guy in the ass.
Well, Ken, come on, I'm trying to be professional here.
Well, if you're professional at that, it sounds like you're professional at it, is what it sounds like.
Well, I'm just talking about how Curtis Prancer is
Matty Matt Screamings, professional fister.
Well, I wouldn't say that. No, not at all. I think it's professional commentator.
Darn
analyst, if you will.
That darn Tootin' guy's a professional fister, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I think he's a lot of people have tasted the fist of Dan Tootin'.
I know I have. I actually have a mold of his fist knife.
Why do you have a mold of Dan Tootin's fist?
It's kind of like where the fingers are all together at the end.
Is it like one of those Hulk hands?
No, not like a Hulk hand.
Just had to ask. Kimura attempt again by Serengeti and Prancer. Pretty much able to perhaps study this tapes. I mean, it's been 3 years. 3 years can change a man. It can mature you. And nice! Oh, some ground and pound with a minute to go. Minute left on the first round. 10 minutes for that. 5 minutes sprint in the second round. A spot in the quarterfinals in March. awaiting the winner. Will it be Leo Serengeti reaching the quarterfinals again 2 years running? Will it be Curtis Prancer continuing his career? He doesn't want to go quietly. He wants to go with a fight.
Watch for him to grab your legs. 10 seconds.
And can he just reach down into the cavity of determination? What will be the outcome of his cavity search?
What would be the outcome of his cavity search? Maybe like a little ballerina figure. I don't know.
Okay, push the pace.
Well, I think much like the ballerina, he'll have to be very flexible, be able to
He is not as good as you.
You know, it wouldn't be
do a bit of a
figurine,
tap,
it'd
do a
be
bit of a
like-
tap dance around the submission stylings
Oh
of
my
Leo Serengeti.
Make a fucking Lord
just gotta
of the
go
Rings
higher with
reference,
the
why don't you?
I don't think he's. I think Lord of the Dance was Michael Flatley, and I think Flatley would not be a way to describe how Curtis Prancer was fighting in that first
He
round.
got knocked down flatly.
He certainly did. And here he was landing some very big strikes on Leo Serengeti. And the ground and pound really was what was doing it for Curtis Prancer. Serengeti was going for submissions, but I mean, if you can't tap him out, then, I mean, you're not winning the round at this point, although we don't score by rounds. And Kenda, any comments on that? I'm about to say through gritted teeth, lovely ring girl, the Nagabot.
Disgusting.
Yes, well,
I
they
wouldn't
of
fuck
course,
that with a stolen dick.
they are, of course, silicon-based cybernetic,
forms, I don't
cybernetic life forms. Sure, the Nagabots, of course, mostly because they found out when they use real women for the ring girls, it distracts people in the audience. They
mess up.
They get a little too
And
antsy,
Mr.
and
Naga
of course the
has to do
crowd.
something about it.
We're talking about killing them, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course the
So many dead Japanese JAV stars.
JAV.
Japanese adult video.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, well, I guess the mysteries have been solved. It was why they're all being found.
The mystery of Hitomi Jacob.
Yes, of course.
I'm kidding.
The famed tournament, the Hitomi J Cup.
Yes.
So I believe it's a professional wrestling tournament. I believe Hirohiro Takahaka Hida has competed in the Hitomi J Cup.
That's he won it in 2006. So
They did, in fact. It was an amazing deathmatch tournament.
the prize is you get the fuck noted JAV star Hitomi J Cup. Hence the name.
I mean, it makes sense, you know, and the trophy is in the shape of a bosom. It jiggles just as much too, I think. Nonetheless, 2:05 to go here in the second round. The entire fight been very evenly matched, not a lot. And Serengeti gets the mount here on Prancer. It's almost appropriate that this be the potentially the last match of Curtis Prancer's career.
Sad.
It is a bit sad. It's going to be one last ride into the sunset, one last dance. But you got to believe that he's inspired to move forward into KUMITE. Perhaps, you know, you don't want to see somebody. You know, he seemed pretty set in his ways that it's going to happen. But you know, who knows? Maybe the thrill of combat, the thrill of the competition, can change his mind. He's got enough to maybe get a decision victory. It's so close that you can't really tell.
Make him a sad like music video.
Perhaps like a sort of a "It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday" sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or I guess some sort of English equivalent song. 15 seconds to go. We may be seeing the last fight of Curtis Prancer's career. If he wins this one, it is so close it's going to be up to the judges. We don't officially know. Curtis Prancer has put on quite a performance against the man who defeated him in 65 seconds 3 years ago. And the ovation.
Yeah, no kidding. If this is it, this would be kind of more heartbreaking than getting fucking punched in the face, you know.
That's true. Well, he was kneed in the face and then choked out with a guillotine in that 65-second debacle against Serengeti.
And that would be a fair thing to call it.
But he might have done enough at this point to get a victory. We'll have to see. You don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges, but that is exactly where we are. Let's see what Judge Nissan Altima goes for Prancer.
Oh shit!
And Submission Galan goes to Prancer. Unsolved goes to Prancer. The dance continues.
He's still around.
Notice Prancer
And he beat Leo Serengeti.
has avenged his loss
Shit.
to Leo Serengeti.